Seasons are God's amazing gift to mankind. Human life is a succession of seasons. God has appointed the seasons, and each season is beautiful and full of emotions and experience. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3 verse 1 says, "To everything there is a season and a time for every matter or purpose under heaven." To better understand this, we suggest you read this whole chapter of Ecclesiastes. God is a God of seasons. Seasons are his idea and decree, and although he says about himself, in Malachi 3 verse 6, "I am the Lord, I do not change." After the flood, God's promise to Noah in Genesis 8 verse 22 was, "While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease." Therefore, we see that seasons change, but God doesn't. Just as God gave 4 natural seasons to the earth, spring, summer, fall and winter, he also appoints seasons in our lives to help us find out what we are gifted at, as well as our potential and talents, and to teach us how to employ and develop them in order to discover our true identity and purpose for our life. We are created for a purpose, wired with talents and abilities, which are God's gift to us, but the way we employ and develop these God-given skills and what we become, ultimately is our gift to God. The first season in human life is spring. This is the time of infancy and childhood, a time of new life, new beginning, new hope, new opportunities. It is a time of growth. These are the so-called formative years of a child that produce what you plant and sow in his life. Childhood is tender, fragile, lush and colorful, full of boundless activity and vivacity, a time of mimicking and imitating what others do. These are the vital years when parents and grandparents need to sow and plant the seeds of the Word of God in a child's life. Proverbs 22 verse 6 says, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." The second season in human life is summer. This is the time of youth and adolescency. It's the season of learning and a stage of self-discovery. It is a time when a person discovers and learns how to develop and use their God-given abilities and talents, gaining self-confidence and becoming the person God has designed them to be. Don't waste your time in chasing the wind and the vanity of this world, but focus on maturing and developing your character. This is the sunshine of your life. Discover who God created you to be, develop and protect your destiny. You will have to fight the weeds and the bugs and the birds who will try to steal your crop from the field of your life. Yes, summer is a season of maturing and discovering your true potential, while protecting your true identity from the vultures that will try to steal your destiny. There is a sad verse in Jeremiah, chapter 8 verse 20 that says, "Harvest is past, summer is over, and we have not been saved." Then summer transitions into fall. This is the third season in a person's life. It is a time of harvesting and gathering the fruit. The success or the failure of this season depends on what you have planted and how well you took care to protect your crop. This is a season of commitment, a time of caring for others, providing for and protecting your family, preserving the values. Fall is a crucial season in a person's life when you are committed to taking responsibility and preserving what God has given to you. You will either have the reward of a great harvest or the regrets of missed opportunities, while making excuses and blaming your circumstances for your failures. Unfortunately, we cannot change the seasons in our lives, but we can change ourselves. 2 Corinthians 9 verse 6 says, "He who sows sparingly shall also reap sparingly, and he who sows bountifully shall reap also bountifully. Then comes the winter, the fourth and last season in a person's life. It is the time of old age, barren, quiet, lonely. It is a time of rest and reflection, taking shelter under the wings of God's grace. How we spend the winter of our lives depends on what we have laid up in the fall, or in other words, what difference we have made in other people's lives. Winter is a time of legacy, a time of sharing with others the life experiences we have learned along the way, preparing the soil, planting the seeds, and training the next generation. The winter of our lives can either be a season of sadness and regrets or a time of joy and expectations of new life and rewards. Regardless of what season and stage we are in our lives now, we have to accept and embrace each season with joy and gratitude, for it is God who gives us grace and mercy for each season to be mindful, productive and fruitful, knowing that our times are in God's hands. God has made everything beautiful in its time. He also has planted eternity in man's hearts and minds, which is a divine sense of purpose working through the ages. And nothing under the sun, but God alone, can satisfy. Find that purpose and you will find God,